am Leo, the rich heir's first love. I lost my eyesight saving him, but he fell for my stand-in, ignoring everyone's objections, and got engaged to her. Sorry, Leo's wife can't be blind. I didn't argue, just smiled and wished them a happy engagement. Leo, with a hoarse voice, asked me why I wasn't angry. Didn't you love me the most? I don't feel anything anymore. That night, I heard he drank himself into a stomach bleed. The next day, he drove like a madman on the highway, almost getting himself killed. For my 25th birthday, Leo brought his girlfriend to the party. The moment they walked in hand, I sensed a sudden silence in the air. Because I am his cherished first love, and Leo's mom had always wanted me as her daughter-in-law. Aren't you going to introduce her, Leo? I stood up with my cane and spoke calmly. Leo paused, his voice stiff. This is Lucy, she's my... He hesitated, unable to find the right words, or maybe unwilling to reveal the truth. I'm Leo's girlfriend. It's my first time meeting his friends. Nice to meet you all. Lucy's cheerful voice was pure and lively, easily gaining people's favor. The lively room suddenly went quiet, like a bucket of cold water had been thrown over it. Someone noticed my expression and warned her. Are you kidding? Everyone knows Leo only wants to marry Melody. She's just a date. Don't overstep your place. For all these years, Leo had different women around, but it was all for show. Since his mom died, he had to put on an act to deal with his stepmother. Everyone naturally assumed Lucy was just another one of those women. But the next second, Leo got furious. He raised his glass and splashed the speaker's face with orange liquor. Since when is it your business to criticize my girlfriend? Even though I couldn't see, I could imagine Leo's look at that moment, his sharp jaw clenched, his stunning eyes filled with anger. He is devastatingly handsome, especially when he's angry. The guy held his face and groaned. Leo, seriously. Before Leo could respond, I heard Lucy's light-hearted voice again. She playfully hit Leo. It's not his fault he's been popular. Your friends, just trying to be nice. I don't mind. Their flirtatious banter stung my heart, making it ache. About 2 years ago, one of Leo's girlfriends confronted me, demanding I give up my place as Leo's future wife. She had barely called me a blind girl unworthy of Leo when Leo went ballistic and smashed a bottle on her head, drawing blood instantly. His groupies were often spoiled, but none dared mess with me after that. This was the first time Leo brought a girl into his circle of friends and defended her fiercely. Melody, my friend sitting next to me, hesitated. That Lucy, she kinda looks like you. Leo wouldn't see her as your stand-in, would he? Though I couldn't see, I felt Lucy's challenging gaze. She's nothing like the innocent image she portrays. I clenched my nails into my palms and scoffed. I'm blind, not dead. Why would he need a stand-in? Leo and I have mutual friends who warned me months ago. Leo's been seeing a small-time actress who looks a bit like you, Melody. Stay alert. We've known each other since we were kids. Despite Leo's flirtatious front, I knew how much he cared for me. Back then, I just smiled dismissively and said, I trust him. Now, it feels like a slap in the face. As the atmosphere grew tense, Lucy eagerly placed a box in my hands. You must be Melody. Happy birthday. This is a gift from Leo and me. I tossed the gift box to the ground. Staring into my darkness, I rasped, Leo, if she's your girlfriend, what am I? After a moment of silence, Leo's familiar voice reached me. Not just a girlfriend, Leo said. I'm going to marry her. The room erupted in whispers. Leo's gone mad, right? Choosing a no-name actress over a well-bred lady like Melody. It felt like an invisible hand was crushing my heart. I could barely breathe. What am I then? I whispered, my voice breaking. In the pin-drop silence, Leo let out a small, guilt-laden laugh. Melody, my wife can't be blind. We're over. I felt dizzy, almost unable to stand. I whispered, you know exactly why I'm like this, more than anyone. 3 years ago, a sudden earthquake buried Leo and me under rubble during a delayed evacuation. Waiting for the rescue team felt endless. As we grew dizzy from hunger, a steel beam above Leo started to give way. Without thinking, almost as a reflex, I crawled over and shielded Leo, my back taking the full weight of the massive beam. The intense pain made me black out, but I held on to him, urging him, live, Leo. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. A head injury had severed my optic nerve. Doctors said surgery was risky. I ended up blind with no hope of seeing the world again. Leo had once kissed my bandaged eyes, his voice trembling with a promise. Melody, I'll marry no one but you. From now on, I'll be your eyes. These days, it's also him who despises me for being blind. I've done my best to compensate you materially. Does moral blackmail work for you, Melody? Leo's impatient growl pulls me out of my thoughts. Everyone around barely dares to breathe, except for Lucy, who cheerfully pats his head as if calming down an angry tiger. My boyfriend is so outstanding, It's normal that his ex-girlfriend can't let go and tries to act up. She sighs empathetically. Today is Melody's birthday, let's cut her some slack. Just a few words, and she paints me as the tantrum-throwing ex. Leo eats it up, his face softening noticeably. Melody, if you were as considerate as Lucy, things wouldn't have gotten so ugly between us. A chill spreads from my heart to my limbs. I fumble on the table and take a big gulp of my drink. The spicy liquid burns down my throat, making me cough uncontrollably. People in our circle always say Leo's obsessive and edgy, but he loves me to death and has never raised his voice. For over 20 years, we've shared every joy, and during times of confusion or dismay, he's been there to listen or comfort. I couldn't understand, how did the proud and energetic boy in my memory suddenly change his heart? But since it's come to this, Melody still has her dignity. With everyone here, let's make it official. With stinging eyes, I reach for the necklace around my neck. It was Leo's birthday gift to me last year, created by a famous domestic designer. The pendant's inner side is carved with our initials. I cherished it as a token of our love, wearing it even while bathing, often touching it and smiling unconsciously. But now, calmly, I take off the necklace and hold it out into the invisible void. Leo, with everyone either shocked or gawking, I curl my lips into a gentle smile. Congratulations on your engagement in advance. Probably not expecting my reaction, Leo curses under his breath, kicking the table leg in frustration, an icy aura surrounding him. Others look down, afraid to make a sound. Looks like I came at a bad time. Why does everyone have such long faces? As the tension hangs, someone walks in with the evening breeze. The faint scent of wood reaches my nose. I nod toward the newcomer. Justin, you're here. Justin is the booth's eldest son. Our villas used to be adjacent, and I loved visiting him in my princess dress. Though we lost contact after he went abroad to study medicine, I've always considered him my half-brother. Long time no see, Melody. Are you sure today is your birthday? I hesitate, then nod affirmatively. Justin scans the scene, speaking with a hint of teasing. From the look of this party, I thought it was Leo's engagement to some unknown actress. He emphasizes unknown actress. Predictably, Lucy snaps first. Who are you? Don't you know how to respect women? Can you even talk properly? Justin ignores her, nodding at Leo. Is this how you treat Melody? Speaking like a brother standing up for his sister. Leo and I got together at 18, initially hiding it from our families. Justin was the first to suspect. He warned me about the boundaries in relationships, and grilled Leo to promise a lifetime of care. Justin has been the witness to our relationship, someone I regard as family, and Leo respects him to some extent. So even though he's irritated, Leo explains patiently. We broke up amicably. Justin sneers. Do you believe that bullshit yourself? This birthday party is over. Melody, I'll take you home. Not wanting to waste words, Justin seems to have noticed Leo and Lucy's intertwined hands and adds, we don't stay in the same space as heartless jerks. His words amuse me, a faint smile forming on my lips. My cane tapping on the floor, I slowly move toward him, but as I pass Lucy, she trips me with an outstretched foot, sending me sprawling forward uncontrollably. Melody, Leo shouts in alarm, genuinely concerned, his warm hand supporting my waist. If we've broken up, act like it. Watch that side of yours, Justin scolds, batting away Leo's hand and catching my back confidently, helping me to my feet. If someone provoked Leo multiple times before, his hot temper would have led to a punch by now. Yet today, he holds back, saying through clenched teeth, I don't take back gifts I've given. He's referring to the unclaimed necklace on the table. Then trash it. Feeling a bit weary, I speak softly. Slowly walking back, I pick up the necklace and without hesitation, toss it into the garbage. The night breeze through the car window clears the tight knot in my chest. Thanks, Justin. Justin's willingness to stand up for me against Leo, risking offense, just after returning to the country, touches me. He left the country the year of the earthquake. We've not seen each other for 3 years. I've been preoccupied with Leo, and the childhood bond has grown faint. Hear your father likes antiques. My dad recently scored a set of ancient Chinese tea wares. I'll bring it around sometime. Afraid he'd think verbal thanks weren't enough, I hasten to say. Justin pauses then laughs. Melody, no need to be so formal with me. In his voice, I think I detect a fleeting, hard to detect hint of melancholy. Here's your birthday present. Justin quickly regains composure, tossing a rectangular box into my lap. Thanks, is this the necklace? Jokingly, I remark, out with the old, in with the new. Justin doesn't laugh, silently pondering me for a while before asking, like an old friend catching up, how have you been these past 3 years? Feeling the air move, I know he's waving his hand in front of my face. I chuckle, it's true, I can't see. Justin clenches his fist, his voice filled with grit. If only I'd known Leo would turn out like this. Justin, usually gentle with a warm smile, capable of teasing lightheartedly, now showing raw, obvious anger for the first time. I was a bit surprised, but couldn't help feeling touched, because he stood up for me. From tonight on, he and we're done. I said it softly but firmly. From 18 to 25, we were together for 7 years. I loved with all my heart. When I let go, I don't hesitate. He's not good enough for you. Justin paused, his voice hoarse. Melody, you should look at other men too. I thought he was just comforting me and smiled, agreeing. By the way, the car started again, and Justin changed the subject. You know there's a chance to treat your eyes, right? But there's a huge risk. If the surgery fails, it could result in cerebral palsy. I turned my head towards the window. No matter how hard I tried to open my eyes wide, all I saw was darkness. In the past 3 years, my parents used all their resources to seek out famous doctors, but it was all in vain. I've given up hope. Justin's tone was calm, using his medical student background to educate me. With most of your optic nerve severed, recovery is possible, but with the current medical level in the country, it's risky. If we could get a renowned overseas eye surgeon, it might work. I gave a bitter smile. There's an eye expert in the US, Ms. Lisa, but hasn't she retired to teach? People say even money can't get her. Not necessarily. Justin's smile turned cunning. If my eyes were fine, I could see his sparkling eyes and the smile playing on his lips in the night, wanting praise. Lucky me, I studied optometry abroad, and Ms. Lisa is my mentor. When lying in the hospital for various eye and brain checks, I was in a daze. Ms. Lisa will be arriving in China in 2 weeks, and my parents have already arranged a VIP room for me. Justin works at this hospital, and often comes to see me during his free time. He talks about funny childhood stories, often making me laugh out loud. The awkward distance from years of not seeing each other slowly fades away, occasionally making me feel like I'm back to childhood. The only difference is Leo isn't here. On the second day of my hospital stay, Justin brought back a big furry dog, a smiling angel Samoyed. Hope it brings you joy. I got a bit excited. After becoming blind, I intended to get a guide dog, but Leo was allergic to dog hair, so I had to give up. Since childhood, no matter how cute the cats and dogs I encountered, I didn't dare to stay long for fear of getting fur on me and making him cough. Now it's perfect. I petted the Samoyed's head repeatedly. It's so well behaved. What should we name it? How about Hobby? Justin's voice was light, holding a smile. Fine then, Hobby it is. Hello, smiling angel Hobby, I'm Melody. Hobby brought a ray of light into my dark world. It had undergone some training, could function as a half-guide dog. It liked to take me to roll on the grass downstairs, also loved to rub against my palm. That day, as usual, we were basking in the sun on the grass when an unexpected guest appeared. Lucy. She strutted over in high heels and looked down on me, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Melody, no wonder you're a rich family's princess. Even an eye surgery expert could be called by you. By the way, why did you leave suddenly that day? Didn't even take your gift, and we put a lot of thought into it. I coldly interrupted her. Miss Lucy, you're still such a cheap thrill. Lucy's face turned stiff, and she responded sarcastically. Do you think fixing your eyes will have Leo back to you? Keep dreaming, he's long tired of you. So that's what she's after. I found it amusing. Can't live without a man, can you? I answered my own question. I heard Leo spent a lot on you. You used to be a mere background actress, and now you're cozying up to a rich boy. Made it to second tier. Huh. People online are calling you the queen of bad dramas, Miss Lucy. Why not work on your acting skills? Lucy probably thought I was the elegant, gentle type, and didn't expect me to retaliate so fiercely. She was first stunned, then flew into a rage. Melody, you're just a blind girl. What gives you the right to lecture me? By the way, do you know what Leo says about you? He said he's sick of you. In bed, you're like a dead fish. No reaction. He said he loves me and will definitely marry me. Her filthy, revolting words stabbed deeply into my chest. Hobby noticed the commotion, wagged its tail, and ran over, barking furiously at Lucy. What a crazy dog. Maybe seeing Hobby was just a Samoyed and not dangerous. The thudding sound of her kicking it startled me. She cursed and kicked. Get lost. Despite the pain and yelps, Hobby stood firm in front of me. My temples pounded. I grabbed my blind cane and swung it towards Lucy. The first hit landed on her calf. Melody, what are you doing? You crazy woman. Lucy, in pain, buckled and knelt half on the ground. When you can't see, other senses become especially sharp. I hit her back again. She screamed in pain. How dare you? Leo won't spare you. Why wouldn't I dare? My voice was icy cold, like laced with frost. You said it yourself. I am a rich family's princess. Do you think I would fear an ill-mannered third-rate actress? I pointed the thick blind cane at her, emphasizing every word. Lucy, don't test me, or you'll get a beating every time you mess with me. The next day, I led Hobby back home to get some clean clothes, and Justin drove us to the door. Don't you want to come in, Justin? My parents would love to see you. Justin lowered the car window and smiled at me. I have surgery this afternoon. I'll come to see Uncle and Aunt another time. Justin might seem calm, but is actually the most rebellious one. Since childhood, he had no interest in the family business, but was deeply passionate about medicine. 3 years ago, a huge fight with his parents got him the chance to study abroad. I'm genuinely happy for him that he can pursue his passion. All right then, drive safe. I waved goodbye to him. In the roar of the car driving away, I held the dog's leash in one hand and used the cane in the other, feeling pretty good as I walked inside. Before I even stepped through the door, someone grabbed my wrist hard, staying silent as they pulled me to the side, totally ignoring my stumbling steps due to my blindness. Leo. As he got closer, I called out his name. What are you up to? He was clearly blocking me on purpose, emanating a low pressure all over, his voice low and deep. This isn't the place to talk. Let's go to my place. How can someone say let's go to my place to an ex with such ease? A small spark of anger flared up in my heart, and I struggled to shake him off. If you have something to say it here. Let me remind you, we've broken up, so it's better not to get too tangled up. Leo stared dumbfounded at the hand I had mercilessly shaken off. After a long while, he finally spoke, his tone accusatory. Melody, are you really that impatient? You're hitting someone over a dog. I understood then. Lucy had been whispering complaints to him. Leo added, she just teased you a bit. Endure it, and it'll pass. Is it really that serious? I thought back to the woman who had called me a blindy, and then got her head smashed with a bottle by Leo. When I heard about it, I nagged him to control his temper, and not resort to violence over small matters. Back then, Leo buried his head in my neck, mumbling, it's not a small matter, Melody. I won't let you suffer any grievance. How ironic. For a moment, I wanted to grab Leo by the collar and loudly question if his past promises had been eaten by dogs. Then I thought, if hearts change, they change. No point in questioning or explaining. So, I stepped back a couple of paces to put some distance between us, and coldly said 3 words, I can't endure it. Believe it or not, if you act crazy again, my cane might just land on you. Leo dragged me to a corner despite my struggles. Just when I thought he might stand up for his new girlfriend, he suddenly leaned down and hugged me. Melody, please just wait a bit longer. Wait a bit longer. Like countless times before, Leo's head rested on my neck, his warm breath on my skin. I couldn't help but laugh. Looking like this, anyone who didn't know better might think he was schizophrenic. Before I could push Leo away, a force suddenly pulled him off me, and a fist landed heavily on his face. Leo, what are you trying to do? It was Justin, who had returned. The two quickly got into a fight. I listened carefully and realized it was a one-sided beating with Justin thrashing Leo. For some reason, Leo didn't fight back at all, just taking the hits in silence. Hobby, startled, was barking wildly on the side, like cheering for Justin. Justin, seeing no end in sight to the beating, I called out to stop him. I still need to get my clothes. Take me back. The thick malevolent air around Justin dissipated as soon as I spoke. He spat out a curse. Justin, usually a refined gentleman, cursing was a first. Shows how much he despises Leo, the traitor. I giggled, comforting him. Let's not stoop to the level of scumbags. Justin's anger mostly faded with my smile. Melody, let's go. Leaving Leo on the ground behind, the two of us and the dog walked away. During the whole process, Leo didn't say a word, but his gaze, seemingly tangible, stayed glued to me. We were in a secluded corner, still a bit away from the villa. It had rained last night, making the road slippery. Seeing my difficulty in walking, Justin extended his hand. Melody, want me to hold your hand? As soon as the words left his mouth, he thought better of it. How about this? You hand me the cane, and I'll guide you. I chuckled silently. That's Justin for you. Unlike the wild and unruly Leo, he was always respectful, never doing anything that might embarrass others. If someone passed by then, they'd see this scene. A woman holding the handle of a cane, the other end in the hand of a tall, elegant man, who also held the leash of a pure white Samoyed. Strange yet beautiful. Suddenly, I thought, Justin, don't you have a surgery to do? As soon as I left the neighborhood, I saw Leo's car parked by the road and rushed back. Luckily, he didn't get to do anything to you. Justin must have winked at me as he said teasingly, You're way more important than surgery. I sincerely thanked him. Justin, you've really helped me a lot. How about I crash dinner at your place tonight? Think your folks will mind? Of course not, they'd be thrilled. A few days later, Leo made a high-profile announcement on Facebook, announcing his engagement to Lucy. The news of a wealthy playboy falling for a bright and passionate young actress for love topped the headlines. Some sensationalist reporters remembered me, the supposedly forgotten first love, comparing my looks with Lucy's and writing stories about doppelganger romance. Leo personally refuted the rumors, saying it was just a coincidence that we looked alike. He liked Lucy for who she was, not her face. When Justin told me all this, the nerve repair surgery had been a success. My eyes were again wrapped in gauze, but this time, my heart was filled with joy and anticipation for the light. My mom was so emotional she cried by my bedside, peeling apples for me. Thought Leo was a devoted one, but he found another woman before you two even got married. Looks like Justin is still the best. You two know each other well. In my opinion, you should just be together. I couldn't help but laugh and cry. Mom, stop matchmaking. I see Justin as a brother. Besides, he has someone he likes. I couldn't see their reactions, so I just kept talking. The other day, I overheard a young nurse asking for his Instagram, and he said it himself. Isn't that right, Justin? Justin was startled for a moment, then smiled warmly, squinting his eyes. Auntie, Melody is right. I do like someone, so I don't add other girls on Instagram. Naturally, I thought of the women around Leo. Even though I loved him deeply, I'd occasionally get upset. You always say it's just an act, but what if it becomes real? Who am I gonna cry to? Leo would always kiss me breathless and then whisper in my ear, Melody, you're the only one in my heart. But the next day, he'd still be acting smoothly with those women. Snapping back to reality, I asked Justin, when are you going to introduce us to this famous girlfriend of yours? He seemed lost in sweet memories, and after a moment, I heard his reply. I'm still pursuing her. I wrote her a lot of love letters when I was abroad. Justin raised his eyebrows and said seriously, I haven't won her over yet, but I've already proposed to her. At that moment, both my mom and I were stunned. What do you mean? You skipped dating and went straight to proposing? Justin, my mom slapped her thigh. You can't be so hasty. You need to take it slow to win a girl's heart. Justin didn't seem to mind. I've waited long enough. I want to be with her as soon as possible. Thinking about it, I waited long enough for Leo too. 7 years to be exact. I subtly asked him many times when he planned to propose to me, but he always used the excuse of needing to establish his career first. You know, my stepmother always sees me as a thorn in her side. I need to regain everything that's mine before I can have the confidence to propose to your parents. Wait a little longer, Melody. Once I sort everything out, I'll give you the most luxurious and grand wedding. Wait a little longer was what Leo said to me the most. So, what happened? Did the girl agree? My mom caught on to the key detail. Justin lowered his eyes in thought for a moment. She hasn't given me a reply yet. Then it's probably not going to happen, my mom sighed. But I thought there was still a chance. From what I could tell, Justin was serious about this relationship. He sounded like he really wanted to get married. Justin, I said sincerely, I hope you win her heart soon. Justin let out a soft laugh, his tone unusually gentle. Then, I'll take Melody's kind words. Days flew by. My mom kept me company. Hobby kept me entertained, and Justin would come by after work to share funny stories. But as for Leo missing the engagement party, I heard about it from 2 young nurses. Was all the sweetness before just a marketing strategy? I always thought, why would a rich guy fall for a third-rate actress? There's insider info saying Leo did it on purpose to show his stepmother. Rich people's schemes run deep. Just then, Justin came in with some washed fruit. The nurses glanced shyly at him and stopped their discussion to go back to work. So there's more to this. Melody, will you forgive him? He asked tentatively. I shook my head with a faint smile. I believe that having reasons doesn't justify hurting someone. Justin seemed to let out a breath of relief and then got worked up as usual. Exactly. He can talk. Can't he explain it? Even if everything with Lucy was fake, the hurt it caused you was real. You can't forgive him. Even if Leo gets on his knees and begs, you need to reject him hard. I smiled. Don't worry, Justin. My eyesight was recovering well. When Justin took off my bandages, my dad and mom took time off work to come see me at the hospital. The long mist light pierced my eyes, and I squinted at first, then gradually saw everything around me. In the white hospital room, my dad and mom were looking at me expectantly, and a snow-white Samoyed was sitting on the floor, panting. And then there was Justin in his white coat, sharp features, prominent eyebrows and eyes, and a pair of silver-framed glasses on his nose. His eyes were full of warm smiles as he looked at me. Finally, I could see. Once I spoke, my mom's lips quivered and tears started to fall. That's wonderful, Melody, wonderful. Even my usually composed dad was pacing excitedly around the room. My eyes brimmed with tears. 3 years after that earthquake, I could finally see the colors of the world again. Justin's lips curled into a smile as he looked at me gently. We need to observe for a few more days. If everything goes well, you can be discharged soon. My mom stepped forward and took his hand. Justin, you found Dr. Lisa to cure our only daughter. Whatever you want, just say it. From now on, if you need any help, your uncle and I will do our best to assist. My dad agreed. Yes, our family owes you big time. Justin waved it off. It's not just you who wanted Melody cured. I wanted it too. My mom nodded approvingly. You've always treated Melody like your own sister, been so good to her. Why don't we just adopt Justin and make him our son? What do you think? I was so excited about regaining my sight that I spent too much time on my phone. Justin advised me to take at least a half-hour nap to let my eyes rest. I had just closed my eyes to nap when I heard Justin quietly walk in. He tucked me in gently and stood by the bed, looking at me. Just when I wondered if he knew I was faking sleep, the next moment, I was enveloped in a fresh woody scent. A warm touch landed on my forehead and then quickly retreated. I clenched my fingers hard to stop myself from gasping. Justin kissed me. A crazy thought popped into my mind, but I quickly pushed it down. Justin has always been the most well-mannered. He always knows the boundaries. What did he mean by suddenly kissing me? Even though it was just on the forehead, we're not siblings. It's easy to get the wrong idea. Plus, he admitted himself that he likes someone else. He even proposed. My mind was a tangled mess. Just as I hesitated whether to wake up, the door to the hospital room was suddenly flung open. Someone stormed in and threw a punch at Justin's face. Justin, I should have known your intentions toward Melody weren't pure. Leo, isn't he busy fighting for the family inheritance? What is he doing here? It would be rude to pretend to sleep now. So I calmly got up from the bed and called out to stop the two from fighting. Stop it. Leo raised his head in amazement. Melody, you can see. He was wearing a black hoodie today, paired with dark blue jeans. His deep and sharp features were striking. At 26, he still looked youthful. After 3 years, I finally saw his face again. The moment our eyes met, Leo forgot about punishing Justin. He reached out, his fingers trembling, trying to grab me. I dodged back, and he came up empty-handed, his knuckles hanging in the air. When he looked up again, his voice was trembling as if he were about to cry. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Melody. I'm late. You really should apologize, I said emotionlessly. But what's the point of saying these things now? Justin laughed sardonically. Leo, how do you have the nerve to face her? One side of his face was clearly swollen from the punch. Leo turned to glare at Justin with hatred, pretending to be her brother while making moves on her. Aren't you disgusting? I coldly retorted. That's between us. It's none of your business. Then I looked at Justin, my voice softening. Go take care of your wound first. I'll talk to him alone. Justin took a few steps, then turned back to look at me. His peach blossom eyes were filled with regret and caution. Sorry, I thought you were asleep. I just couldn't control myself. I gave him a comforting smile. I have a lot of questions for you. We'll talk after I get discharged. Now it was just Leo and me in the room. I picked up a cup and took a sip of water. Whatever you have to say it all today. Leo stood in front of me, looking awkward and unsure. Melody, you saw the news, right? I didn't get engaged to Lucy. It was all a setup. Do you really think? I calmly interrupted him, with a simple excuse of acting. You think the hurtful things you said at the birthday party can just be wiped away? I didn't want to drag you into this. You can yell at me if you want, but please, Melody, don't look at me like that. Leo's sharp eyes turned red, seemingly provoked by my calm expression. Why aren't you angry? Didn't you always love me? Love you for what? Loving how you got tired of me, or how I'm a dead dog in bed? None of that was true. My stepmother specifically found someone who looks like you to seduce me. Everything I said was to throw them off. Melody, believe me. A cold look appeared on my face as I exhaled slowly. Whatever the reason, I have no feelings for you anymore. None. You're lying. I know you're angry, but you can't fool me. At my words, the wealthy young master's eyes grew sore, and suddenly, tears began to fall. Red-eyed, he took something out of his pocket and held it out in front of me. It was the necklace, engraved with our names, that I had thrown away. He had actually retrieved it from the trash. Melody, we've known each other for over 20 years and been together for 7. You can't do this to me. Finally, my calm expression broke a bit, a mocking smile forming at my lips. 7 years couldn't withstand you saying, a blind woman can't be Leo's wife, at my birthday party. That night, I had tossed the necklace away with smooth decisiveness, spouted harsh words without batting an eye, and walked away without looking back. Only I knew how much it hurt. My nails dug deeply into my palms, almost drawing blood, as my hand trembled uncontrollably from pain and anger when I wished them a happy engagement under the table. In my memories, the lively young man stood. I had stood by the basketball court in a white dress, handing him water. I had ridden on his back through many summers. I thought Leo would give me a grand wedding. Instead, what I got was him holding another girl's hand, saying to me, "Melody, we're done." The boy who filled my entire youth, in the end, gave me betrayal. "Leo, this might be the last time I call you that. From the moment you said it was over, there's no more possibility between us." I watched the light in Leo's eyes fade bit by bit. He opened his mouth, but, overwhelmed by sorrow, only managed to squeeze out a few words after a long while. "Is it because of Justin? It has nothing to do with anyone else." Suddenly, a small fluffy ball ran in. Hobby, not understanding human language, happily bounded towards me. Leo seemed to see a lifeline and bent down to pet Hobby's head. "Melody, see, I can pet a dog. After we get married, you can have as many cats and dogs as you want, without worrying about me." Before he could finish his sentence, Leo sneezed and started coughing violently. He bent over, covering his mouth, looking as if he might cough himself to death. I ignored him, squatted down to pick Hobby up, and told him to leave. "It doesn't like you. That's it. Now go." That day near my home, when Leo pulled me into a corner, telling me to wait a bit longer, I had already guessed much of the truth. But what does dealing with his stepmother have to do with me? Leo kept saying he loved me, but his actions always hurt me. What's that saying? A love that's not felt means nothing. I deeply agree. The day after I was discharged, my mom and dad took me to visit Justin's house. The three of us brought a lot of things. My dad even brought the Qing Dynasty tea set he recently won at a charity auction, as a thank you gift for Justin. In the living room, the adults were chatting. Justin tugged at my sleeve. "Hey, my house just got renovated. We got a lot of new furniture. Want me to show you around?" "Sure," I said, eager for an opportunity to discuss things between us. But before Justin could show me more than a few rooms, his mom called him to the kitchen to cut some fruit. Pointing to the study, he said, "Wait for me in there. I'll be right back." I stepped into the study, which had a classic, vintage feel. Uncle's antique collections were everywhere. On the desk was a stack of thick envelopes, their corners slightly yellowed. I leaned in for a closer look, and was shocked to realize every letter was addressed to me. Curiosity got the best of me, so I took out one to read. As I got through it, a wave of emotions hit me. I couldn't believe it. I pulled out every single letter and skimmed through them. Then I made a startling realization. Each letter was written for me, filled with affectionate words. They were all signed by Justin, and dated from his 3 years abroad. Suddenly, his words came back to me. I wrote her many love letters. So, these were it. The love letters he wrote, but never sent out. A gust of wind came through the window, scattering the letters across the floor. One landed at someone's feet. Looking past the fluttering papers, I locked eyes with Justin. His stunning, almond-shaped eyes were filled with love. "Melody, I left them in the study on purpose. I've liked you, or maybe it's better to say I had a crush on you, way before Leo." I stammered, "But you said you liked someone." He smiled softly, almost overflowing with affection. "It's always been you, only you." I found it hard to believe. "When I was dating Leo, you didn't show any jealousy." He sighed lightly. "I was scared you'd push me away if you knew. But now, I don't want to be just your brother anymore." Something clicked in my head. With a hoarse voice, I asked, "Did you go abroad to study because of me?" I majored in optometry, chose Richard as my mentor. From the start, it was all to help you. Justin's eyes showed a flash of pain as he recalled the past. "Melody, my biggest regret is not finding you sooner during that earthquake and protecting you." "Justin." My eyes and nose stung. How could I have been so dense? This gentle, reserved man had done so much for me, even when I was with someone else, without any response from me. I thought I only had Leo, but Justin had silently loved me all these years too. "You don't need to feel any pressure," Justin said again. "My dad initially opposed my studying medicine, but it was you who gave me the courage to defy him and chase my dreams." I looked away, fearing that meeting his gaze would make me cry. After saying so much, Justin gave me a playful wink. "Miss Melody, can you give me a chance to pursue you?" Taking a deep breath, trying to steady myself, I replied, my voice tinged with tears, "Justin, thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for loving me all this time. I'm sorry, because of my last relationship. I can't give you a clear answer right now, but I'm really, really grateful that you're in my life, whether as a brother or a lover." Finishing in one breath, I felt a lot better. It's all right, Melody. As if he had anticipated this, Justin smiled warmly as ever. Can I hug you? Justin looked at me with anticipation and tension. Afraid of my refusal, his fair, delicate hands raised then lowered again. If it feels like too much, forget it. Suddenly, Saling's words from the broken stories came to mind. Some think love is sex, marriage, kisses at 6 a.m., or lots of kids. But do you know what I think? I think love is wanting to touch yet hesitating to. Justin's love for me was like those hands that wanted to touch, but pulled back. A tear slid down my cheek. I didn't hesitate. I stepped forward and gently hugged him. After getting home, I rummaged through my drawers and found the rectangular box Justin had given me. There were so many gifts, some I hadn't even opened yet. Holding my breath, I slowly opened the blue velvet box. Inside was indeed a necklace, its silver chain sparkling gently. But it wasn't just a necklace. At the end of it was a ring. He had proposed to me in his own way. 8 years with Leo and no proposal, while Justin, not even in a relationship with me, had planned our future. For the next few days, I was constantly distracted, often staring off into space. My dad thought I was still stuck on Leo and suggested I go travel to clear my mind. My mom whispered something mysterious to him, let the young ones handle their matters. At dinner the next day, my mom sighed deeply, looking concerned. Do you know Justin got stabbed by a mentally unstable patient's family member? I was startled. Seriously? When? Why didn't you tell me earlier? In that moment, nothing else mattered. I dropped my chopsticks and rushed to the hospital. I was on edge the whole way, urging the driver to hurry. I hadn't agreed to be with you yet, I thought aimlessly. Justin, please be okay. But when I arrived at Justin's office, it was empty. Looking for Justin, a curious nurse eyed me. I nodded. He's in the VIP room talking to a new patient. Take the elevator to the top floor. I started to ask if Justin was hurt, but my phone pinged with a message from my mom. Just kidding, he's fine. Take your time and talk. The nurse added, the VIP room's occupied by the famous heir, Leo. He recently seemed to be going through something. He drank himself into a stupor and ended up vomiting blood. The next day, he went nuts speeding on the highway and ended up in a car crash. The car was totaled. Dramatically, his life was saved, but Leo damaged his brain's visual center, causing temporary blindness. To put it plainly, he's blind. I could hear Justin's clear voice from the slightly open door. I perked up my ears to listen. He seemed to be gloating. Calm as a thing, Leo. When you looked down on Melody for being blind, did you ever think you'd end up this way one day? Leo broke a leg in the crash. He couldn't even get up to hit him, so he gritted his teeth and cursed. Taking advantage when someone's down, you're really shameless. Justin wasn't magnanimous at all and yelled back, selfish jerk, hurting the ones closest to you for your own gain. Melody appeared gentle, but was actually resolute. She couldn't tolerate any deceit. You totally deserve this, she said. Leo was so angry, he couldn't catch his breath, and started coughing so hard it was painful. Stop acting like a hero. All you want is to steal her from me. Justin, how are you any better? There was a possessive desperation in Leo's eyes. You're wrong. Justin looked down at him, his expression softening when he spoke about me. She doesn't have to be with me. I just want her to be happy. But you didn't manage that, did you? Leo went silent, stunned and at a loss for words. When Justin turned to leave, he noticed me peeking through the door. Joy spread across his face as he walked towards me. Melody. Then his eyes lowered and the joy was replaced by sadness. Did you come to see Leo? I quickly denied it. I didn't even know he had a car accident. Melody, you're here, right? Leo heard my voice. His head and eyes were wrapped in bandages. He leaned out from the bed, almost pleading, come in and see me. Does seeing me like this make you feel any better? The once arrogant Leo was now humbled, but I didn't respond. After Justin stepped out, I gently closed the door. Don't pity him. He's just trying to play you, Justin said with an air of seriousness, probably worried I'd feel sympathy for Leo. I complimented him without hesitation. What you said earlier really hit home for me. Justin's eyes lit up, resembling our happy Samoyed hobby. Then could Miss Melody consider giving me a chance to pursue you? No, I answered firmly. Justin's smile froze. I stood on tiptoe and whispered in his ear, you don't need to pursue me. Let's be together. Let's be together, Justin. A warm love silently blossomed between us. You've become an inseparable part of me.